Minister Gungubele wants to come back without being allowed to come back. Thank you very much, Ministers and CEO. And just to reiterate the point that was made by the Minister earlier on, that the staff members of Postbank and SASA are on the ground this entire week to ensure that they assess the progress in terms of what has been reported today, and also assist beneficiaries to assist beneficiaries and guide them as well as and when they do need assistance. Colleagues, we're going to go to a last round of questions. Okay, Shoni, I see your hand is up. I see two more hands at the back. Okay, then that will be the third one. Vanessa, are there any other questions online? Because this is the last round.
Yes, we have 3 more questions.
3 more. All right. So let's start with, you can go ahead.
Just to the questions over again. What is the message to people in lines at the moment? You've got people in the nation at the post office, they're accessing Postbank, and they've been there since, some of them since last week Tuesday. You say that it's system errors, you've resolved them. And I understand the technicality and the semantics of it, but people still don't have their money. And to elderly people, they still don't have their money. So what is your message to people who are still waiting 10 days later for their money?
Thank you. We'll take the gentleman right at the back. I can't see him properly. Yes. That's you, yeah.
Thank you. My name is Aseri from Capital Line. I just want to quickly ask the ministers and the CEO if you are aware, and what is it that you are doing about the glitch, so-called glitch that happened. Some officials, especially security officials of the post office, using that as a way to making money, telling people that come this side, I will assist you, so that you don't go through the very same thing that you went through last week or last time, meaning that this time you get your money right away, but organize for me 50 bucks or 50 rand. Number 2, thanks so much, Minister Zulu, for using vernacular, vernac most of the time. I'm sitting here, Kokwana Kosa is sitting in Giyani, listening to Giyani Community Radio, as an example. What is it that you are planning, or that you have done so far, to convey this message to such people that are sitting out there, not having the access to the media that currently is covering this kind of a briefing? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, yes, it's him, the gentleman next to Basega. Yes, that's you.
Their views on Postbank and opposition parties for grant recipients to start using more of them, to start using private banks instead of the Postbank, considering that about 40% of all beneficiaries get their grants from the Postbank. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the name is Maschaba from Jacaranda FM. My question is around the contract with the Postbank. If it is possible for either minister to just give us clarity on whether or not the current glitch has to do with the court matter pertaining to the payment switch involving the Postbank, Electronic Connect, and FSS Technologies. Whether or not we're sitting on the sidelines of a repeat of the CPS matter in 2017, where the agreement between government and a private entity affects the payment of grants.
All right, thank you. We'll now go to Vanessa.
5 questions. The first one is from Harold, Brandon from the Herald, excuse me. He says, even though the glitch has been resolved, can Minister Gungubele verify if there's a backlog due to the glitch? Siphelele Dludla from Business Report. Can Minister Gungubele clarify the cause of the payment glitches? Because in the statement he says it was a system update, while his deputy, Mr. Fili Mapulani, at GovTech said it was a cyber attack. Nonele Nkotana from Englobo FM. As the beneficiaries of the SASSA grant said that they are facing the challenge of not getting their money on time, this does not make the department does this not make the department and the agency unreliable for the people of South Africa? What can be done to prevent damage like this from happening in the future, as the number of people affected is standing at 600,000? Sinesi Ipo has a follow-up question from Times Live. Can Minister Gungubele explain the 140 million rand contract that seemed to have been an issue between his ministry and the Postbank board? What was it about, and what is the current status? Follow-up question from Neila Ibrahim from News 24 Business. Would Minister Gungubele be able to explain what was found within the KPMG report and why it was considered damning? Thank you.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Just so that the colleagues that were asking the online questions, I think the question of the backlog is sufficiently covered in the statement where we report about the 600,000 and that over 500,000 of those have currently been addressed. We'll start with the Minister, Minister Gungubele. Oh, sorry.
Let's start here.
Okay, all right. Okay, yes. Great. So we'll start with the CEO of SASSA, Ms. Memela.
Sanibonani, ngicela futhi uxolisa kubomama ogogo nomkhulu abangazange bathola imali yabo ngendaba yalenkinga esibenayo. Ngiyaxolisa kakhulu. Sonke sikhubekile ngaloko kwenzekile. The issues that I wanted to respond to the question that was asked as to why is it that 40% of our clients or beneficiaries are the ones that get funding or get their grant from Postbank, whilst 60% of the clients or beneficiaries actually get their money from private banks. In terms of our current framework, we allow our beneficiaries to be able to get their grant in an environment of their choice. So we didn't push the clients to anywhere, but the clients voted with their own feet in instances where they felt that they could get a better service. So it is the client's choice for them to be able to go to a bank of their choice. The two methods of payment that currently exist is you will get paid through a supplier or a supplier that is decided on by SASSA, which in this current framework that we have is Postbank, or you can get paid through an alternative payment mechanism, which would be a bank of your choice. So it's the clients that have actually made that choice to go and get paid elsewhere. The other question that was asked was as to whether we're going to be able to go out there and communicate in other languages, singakhulumi ngesiZulu kuphela. Yes, Postbank will be going to different community radio stations, but also in relation to us, all our staff are actually on the ground in different regions so that they can communicate to clients what the challenges are, but also if clients want to make a different choice, for clients to be able to decide as to how they want to get paid. I thought I should clarify on those issues. So all our regional executives, together with their staff, are on the ground to make sure that they are able to communicate to the beneficiaries. Thank you.
Okay. I hope I do not miss any questions, but I have logged two that were directed at me. The one was that, what message will we then say to someone who is still waiting today? And the other one was, are we aware of the officials, the post office officials, who are seemingly abusing people, making claims that they could help them, calling them around the corner? I think the first one, angeke sikwazi ukuthi siphinde siqolise kakhulu, because I think sometimes in situations like this, even when you say sorry, it may seem as if it's not enough, and we recognize that. But having said that, it is the only thing now we really want to express. Firstly, ukuthi siyaxolisa kakhulu. Okwesibini, the second thing is that siyapromisa kumuntu wonke ukuthi uzoyifumana imali yakhe. Akekho umuntu othi epeya indodla abe kanti akazoyifumana imali yakhe yale nyanga. That we can guarantee. Having said that, I do want to emphasize that we believe that the majority have gotten their money. If I were to quote stats of what we're seeing that's coming through the call center, almost over 80% of what we're getting is people claiming that they haven't got their money, or people querying, and rightfully so, because we do believe that people don't want to waste their money going back and forth. So sometimes they do have to call somewhere to go, is the money in my bank? Which we respect. I just wanted to say that. So the second question was around, are we aware of the post office officials that are making such claims? No, we are not aware of such. It's the first time that I'm hearing. And we condemn it. We condemn it completely. And then we want to emphasize to people that no one has any right to promise you that they will give you your money. If imali yakho isuka ku Postbank, uyifumana ngekhadi lakho lase-SASSA, that's the only place imali yakho uzoyifumana khona. If uyifumana phakathi e-post office, ufune kungene uyoyithola phakathi e-post office, that's the only place uzoyifumana khona. If uyifumana ki-pay point, that's the only place ozoyifumana khona. Akekho omnye umuntu onokupromisa ukuthi unemali yakho. I just wanted to emphasize that to everyone who's listening.
Yeah, thank you very much. There was just one question that was asked earlier on with regard to the post office in Nelson Mandela and Govenberg. I think what we are also doing as a department is to make sure that in our oversighting SASSA, we make sure that the officials, because I think the one other thing that has to be appreciated is that not everything is happening at national. People live at district level, and that's why we have national, as in the minister, the CEOs and everyone. Then we have provincial offices, and in having the provincial offices, we are expecting also the MECs and the HODs to be hands-on when it comes to such challenges. Just this morning, I spoke to the CEO of SASSA, and I give them the assurance and the confidence that we are dealing with the issue, because they face the grant beneficiaries on the ground almost on day-to-day basis. So strengthening the whole system at national, provincial and local government is very important for us. The second issue I want to deal with is the one of the supposedly post office security officials extorting money from the grant beneficiaries. That we'll have to condemn in the strongest terms. And especially because we are dealing with people who, by the way, have already borrowed money from wherever they are to go and be able to get the grants, and then somebody just becomes a tsotsi along the way. We've had to deal with this during the COVID-19, by the way, because this is what was happening. They would come and be asking people, give me 50 rands or give me 100 rands. We had to deal with that by ensuring that we strengthen the system inside, because if we don't strengthen the systems and the accountability throughout, then you'll have these people who take advantage of our people. And I would like to say, makunomuntu nje ohlangana naye nawe uyi-grant beneficiary ecela u-50 rand kuwumuntu oholayo la esebenza khona, just report it to the police. In fact, I think, CEO, we might start looking at different ways of curbing it, because, you know, those that are on the ground can be able to assist. One of the things we did during COVID, we got volunteers to be on the ground to speak to the people, because at the time there was an issue of wearing of the mask, keeping the distance. We got volunteers whom we paid at the time, because we were working together with NDA to make sure that happens. It's one of the things that we have to keep on doing to improve our systems. The other issue was about the agency and the department, and its whether it has been reliable. I can say this without a shadow of doubt. Ever since we started paying social grants to the majority of South Africans who really need the social grant, and we've been paying this grant irregardless of color or creed or gender or where you live, this government has been paying this grant to every beneficiary that needs to have the grant. We've been doing that without doubt. Also, we have been paying this grant. Ever since we started paying the grant, we have not been failing to pay the grant on monthly basis. What might be happening in between, like now we've had this challenge that we have, are those technical challenges that we have, and in the process also of improving our systems. CEO is right, because we must also say to our people, so that they don't come back tomorrow and say, but you said. We must be able to say, we want to keep on improving our systems. And in the improvement of our systems, we are bound to come across these challenges. What is important is what we do about those challenges. Lastly, as I'm sitting there, I just received, because some people at home are keenly listening and wanting to know whether their grants are going to be paid, those ones who have not been paid, and we have assured them. A member of parliament from the ANC just sent me a very disturbing video of somebody that is abusing either a grandmother or a mother, demanding the card from the mother and physically abusing the grant recipient. We would like to say here, we condemn in the strongest terms. This money is not meant for anybody else but the grant recipient who has gone through the due process and has been approved to receive that grant. And as a department, we are very much also aware of the fact that the grandparents, the mothers, some of the mothers, the money that they get, they stretch it out to more than just themselves. Many of families depend on this grant, and therefore for anyone to be so abusive, physically abusing umamake aze awelela phansi adimanda ukuthatha ikhadi kuye ngenkani, yizo lezi zinto lokhu esicela ukuthi umphakathi usazise ngalama case afana nalawo. I want to also say we are aware ke gore ra tseba hona le batho ko matlong a itseng who always take the grant. Ra tseba hape hore hona le di women, young women who take the card away, basiya bana babona with the mother or the grandparent or something, batsamaya ka di card and they go do other things instead of ensuring that that card is given. We are looking at that as a department, both SASSA and ourselves. How can we improve it in such a way that nobody, even if they are able to take the card, they are not able to abuse the card? Lastly, isicelo lesi kubantu abasemakhaya. Cabanga nje nawe masuzibona usumdala, usufike esikhathini sokuthi uthole igrant yakho. Uthola ukuthi abantwana bakho yibo abeza endlini bazokushaya bakushayele ikhadi. Mangabe lento niyayibona yenzeka, sicela ukuthi nihambe niyoreporta emaphoyiseni, nathi sizozama ukuthi sisebenzise ama-social workers wethu, because one of the reasons why Minister of Social Development, Minister Gungubele, I've been saying, we are not going to be able to deal with our problems unless we know what is happening, house to house, street to street, community to community. We are not interfering with the private lives of people. But when the government extends support to people through the grants that are supposed to help people, we cannot stand by and allow some people to be abusive to the grant recipients. Thank you.
I know I have stimulated your appetite for curiosity when I said 140 million paid illegally. It's natural. The next question, to whom? These matters are very sensitive matters because they tend to end in court. We always avoid willy-nilly making use of the names of the people. Remember, the illegal contract is the object of our difference with the board, but our difference is with the board. Now, we do not want to target these other guys who we are not at war with. We are at war with those who illegally allowed them to participate. You must also understand it's not a straightforward matter. The other one asks, is the money going to go back? Sometimes the laws of our country, even if the money has been illegally paid, it is always checked whether it added value in one way or another. So it becomes the court's decision. But it doesn't change that you will be charged for illegality. No matter your money made me to have an upper grade suit than the one I had before. So I'm trying to appeal to colleagues that I will avoid mentioning the names of the people involved. All I can say to you, from the KPMG report, there's confirmation of illegal processes, illegal payment, illegal contracting. Those facts are there. Some of them are from the AG. You can Google for yourself, you'll find them, because AG report in South Africa is a public, what to call. It's a public document. On the opposition, your question was very tricky because you didn't name which part. I was praying that you name a part. Now, DA. Now, no
wonder.
So I am not surprised. You see, the reason we are different parties makes us speak about triple B, makes us speak about housing for all, makes us speak about social grants. Generally, their constituents in its bigger numbers does not have the problems of exclusion. And they do not understand the meaning of exclusion, by the way, general. So we who understand the importance of both the iniquities of the past and the importance, the exclusive past and the inclusive future, we as the ANC, as the governing party, we combine those. To them, what matters is the future. What happened in the past is none of their business. The past gave us majority of people excluded from education, excluded from access to development, to housing, to skills, to many things. That's how we understand. And then the past dictate our policies. So we're different from them. So we're not surprised. We wouldn't expect them to actually pray for this because they see it from the point of voting, not from the point of the problems these people are confronted with. That's the general difference. That's why we're different parties anyway. On the issue of whether it's a cyber or upgrade, it's an upgrade, as a matter of fact. It's a matter of fact. It's an upgrade. The records of cyber, I don't have those facts at my disposal. I would actually leave it at that point. Lastly, bendifuna ukuthi ke kulaa mntu kuthiwa ngumntu waseNgcobo uthi sawunithemba kanjani. Sifuna ukuthi kuye silapha sizokunika ingxelo kulo lonke ilizwe ukuba siyiqaphela kanjani le ngxaki. Kwenzela into uba indlela eyahlukileyo niyiqaphela ngayo nisazise, sisebenzisane kude kufike le mini yokokuba ezinto zime ngendlela eza kwenza uba wonke umntu ubomi bakhe bulawuleke ngesidima. Enkosi.
Thank you very much, ministers and CEOs. Colleagues, that brings us to the end of our media briefing. We really appreciate your presence and your participation. As government, we are dependent on yourselves to carry our message and also the interface between the work of government and our affected beneficiaries and as a public as a whole, and the public as a whole. So we really appreciate your presence and thank you very much for being here. That brings us to the end of our media briefing. If there are any interview requests, the ministers as well as the CEOs are available in various languages. I'm not sure if they can speak Tsonga, but I'm sure we can assist them. Those of us who would be more multilingual. Thank you very much, colleagues, and media briefing adjourned. I think so.
Thank you for organizing the that.
Yes, thank you. We try.
You did well.
Thank you. Take it.
There's a problem with this.
We don't own it. We must own it. Yeah, we don't must
Both
own
sides.
Yeah.
Both sides. But also when I do well, both sides. No, only. So